Is that a person or a flower? I can't tell. Is that a... Can you see, guys? Is that a person or a flower? I can't tell. Can you tell? Well, guys, welcome back to Mad English TV. Welcome to another advanced English lesson. In this lesson, we are going to talk about the advanced meanings of say and tell. Now, you're probably looking at these words and you're thinking, these are easy words, Mark. These words are just for beginners. Easy. Easy peasy. You are wrong. This is going to be the hardest English lesson you have ever seen in your life. I tell ya. I tell ya. I tell ya. Do you know what this phrase means? I tell ya. It means it's a phrase emphasizing that the speaker is about to present their opinion on something. Okay? So this phrase doesn't really have a meaning. Okay? It's just used to emphasize that the speaker is giving you their opinion. Okay? So I said this is going to be the hardest English lesson you've ever seen in your life. I tell ya. I tell ya. Okay, let's look at some examples. I tell ya, that was the craziest party I've ever been to. I tell ya. Okay, so what does this mean? This phrase is just serving the purpose of adding emphasis to what I said. That was the craziest party I've ever been to. I tell ya. Okay, so we can use this phrase at the beginning or at the end. It's your choice. Okay, or you can just say it as its own little sentence after you've said something. You know, man, when I went to Baghdad in the middle of summer, that was the hottest place in the world. I've never been to somewhere that's so hot. I wanted to die. I tell ya. I tell ya. Okay? So that's what it means. Let's look at one more example, or maybe two more examples. Calgary is getting worse every year. I tell ya. I tell ya. Calgary is getting worse every year. I tell ya. Okay, so again, I can put it here, or I could put it at the beginning. Okay, or we could put it in the middle if we want. I could say something like this. Okay, Hong Kong, I tell you, you gotta check it out. You guys, have you ever been to Hong Kong? I love Hong Kong, guys. It's one of my favorite cities. I haven't been there for a long time, but I've been to Hong Kong about maybe 5 times. I tell ya, you gotta check it out. It's amazing. I hope I can go back to Hong Kong. Have you ever been there? Let me know in the comments if you like it. I love it. I don't know why. It's just something about the city is just, it's just sweet. I love it. I tell you, it's great. So let's go back to this picture here. Can you see this picture clearly? What is this here? Is that a person, or is that a flower, or is that what is it? I can't tell. Can you tell? What does this sentence mean? I can't tell. I can't tell. It means you can't see something clearly. You're not sure. Okay, it means you don't know because it's not clearly visible. Okay, I can't tell if that's Is that a man or a woman sitting over there? I can't tell. I can't tell if that's a man or a woman. Okay, maybe the person is a little bit, they're far away, and I'm trying to see, but I can't tell. Okay, I can't tell. So, if you're looking at this and you don't know, not sure what this is here, I can't tell what that is. I can't tell. Can you tell what this is? Okay, so this word has nothing to do with the word tell. Like, beginner students, they think the word say and tell have certain meanings. In this video, in this lesson, we're not talking about those beginner meanings. Like, I told my mom to bake me a cake, right? Or I told my best friend. I said, we're not talking about the basic meanings in this lesson. We're talking about advanced meanings. And these words say and tell have meanings that don't mean this kind of stuff, words. Okay? So in this example, I can't tell means I can't know. I don't know. I don't know. Okay? I can't tell if that's a person or a flower. I can't tell if it's a person or a flower. Okay? Now, we could say I don't know. I don't know if that's a person or a flower. You could say that. But the reason it's better to say I can't tell is because we know what a person is and we know what a flower is. Right? You're not stupid. I'm not stupid. I hope you're not stupid. Are you stupid? If you're not stupid, then smash that like button right down there. All right, so we know what these is. That's not the issue. Okay? The issue isn't that we're not sure, oh, what's a person? What's a flower? I don't know. No, we know what these things are. The problem is, for some reason, we can't see it in this moment. Okay, so we're trying to know. So when you say this phrase, I can't tell, what it means is you're trying to know, but for some reason, it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. Okay? So again, this word has nothing to do with telling anybody anything. This word means I can't see it. I can't know it because I can't see it properly. Okay? Take a look at these cookies. Do you know what kind of cookies these are? I can't tell. This one looks like it's probably a chocolate chip cookie. This one might be double chocolate or chocolate fudge or some other name for a rich chocolate. Like it's all chocolate flavored. A normal chocolate chip cookie just has chocolate chips in it. The dough itself isn't chocolatey. But in this kind of cookie, it might have different names, maybe double chocolate or chocolate fudge or something like that. Then it's usually darker, and the whole cookie is chocolatey flavored, right? This one, I don't know. It's hard to tell. This one might be peanut butter. I love peanut butter cookies, guys. What's your favorite kind of cookie? Let me know down in the comments what your absolute favorite cookie is. I love all of these guys. I would love any of these. I don't know what this top one is. This top one might be oatmeal raisin. It might be oatmeal raisin. I don't know. It's hard to tell. I don't know what that is. Can you see that little thing and this thing on top? I can't tell if that's a chocolate chip or a raisin. Okay. It might be a raisin. It might be a chocolate chip. I can't tell. Okay? I can't tell. That means I don't know. But I'm trying to know, right? I'm looking at this. I can't tell. I don't have enough information, right? Because we're just seeing the sides of these cookies. Maybe if we get a closer look, and I can look at it from the top, Oh yeah, that's oatmeal raisin, or that's chocolate chip. Do you guys like oatmeal raisin cookies? Just a side note about our culture. Okay, just a side. This has nothing to do with the lesson. I just want to veer off course a little bit and tell you something about our culture. Okay, in Western culture, oatmeal raisin cookies are often look kind of, it's like a joke. It's kind of like the joke is that nobody likes them. Okay, nobody likes oatmeal raisin cookies because they look like chocolate chip cookies. But when you just look at it, you can see like the dark pieces, and maybe when you see the cookie, you think it's a chocolate chip cookie because you see the raisins in it. But then when you actually see it close up, or when you take a bite out of it, it's not a chocolate chip cookie. It's oatmeal raisin, right? So very often, people they'll like kind of joke about that people don't like oatmeal raisin cookies. But I think the truth is that actually a lot of people do like oatmeal raisin cookies. But I think there are people who hate oatmeal raisin cookies too. Like, see, everybody loves chocolate chip cookies, right? Most people love chocolate chip cookies. Some people love oatmeal raisin. I love all cookies, guys. I love oatmeal raisin cookies. But the joke is that some people don't, and they hate it. Okay, so it's easy to get them confused, right? If you're in the store and you want to buy some chocolate chip cookies, you might accidentally grab some oatmeal raisin cookies, right? Because they look similar. So that's just a joke. Okay, now we're getting back to the English lesson, guys. Is this watch authentic or a knockoff? Knockoff means fake. It's a fake. It's a counterfeit product. Okay, look at this. This is a Rolex. Now, Rolex is probably the most well-known watch company in the world. And a lot of fake companies try to counterfeit Rolex watches, and they sell them for really cheap. Like one time I was in Tijuana, Mexico. Okay, I was actually on a trip to San Diego. I stayed in San Diego, California for a few days, and I took a train down to the Mexican border, and I just walked across the border to Tijuana. And when I was there, I bought a fake Rolex watch for, I think it was $10 or $20. It was cheap. I mean, I'm not a watch expert, so it looked like something like this, except it had diamonds around the outside. Diamonds, guys. I think they fell out after a few months, so I knew it wasn't a real Rolex. It was a counterfeit product. It was a knockoff. It was a knockoff, guys. It was $10, right? So have you ever bought a counterfeit? Have you ever bought a knockoff product? In your country, do they sell knockoff products? I think here in Canada, if you get caught, like, I'm not sure, I haven't thought about this. If a company were to get caught selling counterfeit products, I think that, you'd be getting in trouble. I don't know if they'd put you in jail or if they would just fine you. Like if you were making these in your house, if you were making counterfeit Rolex watches and selling them, like the one I bought in Mexico. I don't know what the punishment. I have no idea, but it would be bad. Okay, I think in Canada I'm sure in every country there are knockoff products, but I don't think it's. I'd say it's pretty rare. Like, let's say to get like knockoff Nike shoes or Adidas products or something like that. I don't know. I don't think. I think in Canada, this type of business, it's I don't think there is this kind of business. There probably is, but I don't know it. If you go to any stores here in Canada, all the products are going to be the real, the authentic products. Okay, how about in your country? Are the products authentic or a knockoff? All right, so is this watch authentic or a knockoff? Well, I can't tell. I can't tell. I'd have to see it in real life. Okay, I can't tell. I'd have to see it in real life. I'd have to hold it and look at it and. Okay, so this is an example of this. I can't tell. Right, or you could say, I can't tell. I don't know enough about watches. Can you tell? Can you tell if that's a knockoff? Okay. Now, I can't tell, I can't say. This one can mean the same as this one in all the situations we just talked about. You could also say this. They could mean the same thing. Okay? Like in this picture, right? What is that? Is that a person or a animal? I can't say. I can't say. So sometimes people use I can't say and I can't tell to mean the exact same thing. But it's better to use I can't tell. Why? Because I can't say could also have a different meaning, right? And it could mean this, okay? I can't say. It means I'm not allowed to reveal this information. Okay, so if you ask me a question and I say, sorry, I can't say, that means I know the answer, I have the information, but for some reason, I'm not allowed to reveal it. Okay, so let's say here's an example, guys. I'll tell you a real life example, okay? When I lived in China, I was a teacher. I taught children at a school. And some of these parents of these children, they were really rich. I mean, they drove, some of these parents had like Ferraris, Lamborghinis, what was that one brand? Maseratis, all kinds of expensive cars, guys. I lived in a district called Shujiahui. Shujiahui is like a neighborhood. It's a district of Shanghai. Okay, and I remember one day I was outside the school. I was in front of, there's a big Catholic church in Shujiahui. And I was on break. I think it was lunch break. I was out, there was like a big grass area, nice grassy area in front of the church. And I was sitting there. I think I was eating my lunch or something. And one of the mothers of one of my students, she was there, the mother, and I started talking with her, and we had a conversation, and I was just asking her some questions to be polite, right? And I think somehow we got talking about her husband. Okay, I don't think I'd ever seen her husband because it was always her that would bring her kid to school and pick the kid up, right? But for some reason we got talking about her husband, and I just was trying to make conversation. I think I asked her, "Oh, what does your husband do for work?" And she said something like I think he was like a rocket scientist or a nuclear scientist or something, some really advanced field. And I think I asked her, where does he work? And I was just trying to be polite, like maybe, because I think he lived outside of, I think he was in a different city, okay, or something. So I asked her, oh, where does he live? And I think she said something like this, I can't say. And I figured out from from her words that her husband had like some secret government job. Okay. And so she she knew the answer to my question, but she didn't want to tell me because she's not allowed. Okay, it's like probably some top secret type of thing. So that was interesting. I think she said something like this: "I can't say." Okay, so if you have a secret, guys, you could. I mean, let's say you know something, um, and you don't want to tell someone. You could say this. You could just say, "I'm not going to tell you." I'm not going to tell you, right? But if you want to be polite and you're trying to protect like a secret, okay, then you can say, sorry, I can't say. Sorry, I can't say. That means, you're not trying to be rude. You're just, maybe for some reason there's information that you have to keep hidden. Okay, so then you can say the sorry, I can't say. Now, this is always at the end of the sentence. This is the full sentence, okay? Sorry, I can't say. You don't say more words after here. Like, look at this mistake. Okay, this is a mistake. Sorry, I can't say about my work with the government. Okay, you need to end the sentence right here. Sorry, I can't say. Stop. If you want to make this sentence, then you have to replace the word say with talk. Okay, then you have to say, sorry, I can't talk about my work with the government. Sorry, I can't talk about my work with the government. Or I'm not allowed to talk about my work with the government. Okay, so that's another meaning of say. Okay, I can't say that. Look at this. Look at this color, guys. What is that? Is it pink? Is that purple? I don't know. Maybe from in your camera. I don't know. Is that brown? Is it pink, brown, purple? Depends on the angle. Depends on the angle. I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. Okay. Now, you might think this sentence means it's hard to say, like if something's hard to pronounce. All right? Like imagine if what country could you be from that's hard it's hard to pronounce. Um like France, the word France in German. Is it like Frankreich? Frankreich. I forgot all my German, guys. I used to live in Germany. I was studying German for a little bit. Um, I think the word for France, the name of France, is Frankreich. Frankreich. It's hard to say, right? It's hard to say. Okay, so that's what this could mean. It's hard to say it. Or maybe you have a name that's very hard for people to pronounce. Maybe it's in some weird language, like English. English is a weird language, guys. I don't know. So many words are hard to say in other languages, right? What you think? Give me an example in your language of a word that's hard to say. In English, uh, sounds that are very hard for people to say are the I sound, the short I sound, I, like win, win. People usually say ween, ween. Or the R sound is very hard to say. Mark. My name is Mark. Mark. Mak. Chinese people tend to say mak. Uh, Indian people say mark. Mark. Spanish people would probably say Mark. Marcos. I don't know. Or just things. Sometimes words are hard to pronounce. They're hard to say. You know, Frankreich. It's too hard for me to say, guys. Maybe that's why I stopped learning German. Do you speak German? Let me know what words are hard to say. Okay, so this sentence could mean that something is hard to say. Maybe it's a tongue twister. Like what's a good example of a tongue twister? Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Right? Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Well, that's kind of hard to say. It's actually not hard to say. What's a harder one? Sally sells seashells on the seashore. Can you say that? Sally sells seashells on the seashore. That's also easy, guys. I don't know. You think of tell me a hard tongue twister. You know, it makes your tongue go crazy. But actually, it's not your tongue. It makes your brain go crazy. Sally sells seashells on the seashore. It's good for practicing s and sh sounds, right? Because every language has a kind of a problem in English, and so it's good to maybe practice certain sentences or phrases, and those can be hard to say. But the meaning I'm talking about, right, if we go back to this color, well, it's hard to say what this color is. Is that pink? Is it like a mauve? There's a color in English called mauve. Okay, it's kind of purpley, pink, purple, maybe it's mauve. I don't know. Okay, it's hard to say. Or you could say, I can't tell. But I think in this example, it would be better to say, it's hard to say. It's hard to say. Because really, we're not trying to look like, it's not that we can't see clearly enough. We can see this clear. I don't have to look closely. What color is that? No, it's the same if I'm looking close or far away, right? So it's not really that I can't tell. It's that it's hard to say. That kind of means, I don't know. You don't know. Nobody knows. It's hard to say. It's hard to say, guys. What's going to happen in Syria? What's going to happen in Syria? Syria is a country in the Middle East. Did you know that? It's a country in the Middle East that is sandwiched between Turkey, Lebanon, Israel, Jordan, Iraq. I love how Western people say Iraq. The country, the way they say the country is Iraq. Iraq. I'm from Iraq. They say the k sound very deep in the throat. I come from Iraq. Okay, that's how they say Iraq. But in English, Western people typically pronounce Iraq and Iran. It's... Why are there balloons? My computer likes the word Iran. Iran. Maybe it's because I ran a marathon, right? I ran to Iran. I ran to Iran. If you listen to guys like Donald Trump talk about that country, they say Iran. It's almost like two words. I ran. Joe Biden is the worst president in the history of the world because he gave all our money to Iran. He sent pallets of cash to Iran. Iran to Iran. I love Iran, guys. I have some students, I've taught a lot of Persian students over the years. I love Persian people. I love Persian food. I really hope I can live in Iran one day. I would love that. I would genuinely love that. The only reason I'm not in Iran is because I'm terrified of the government. Honestly, I'm kind of hoping Donald Trump goes to Iran and takes out the trash, if you catch my drift. If you catch my drift. You know what that means? That means if you understand my meaning. Okay? So what was my sentence? I said, I hope Donald Trump goes to Iran and takes out the trash, if you catch my drift. So what does that mean? Well, clearly, I'm not talking about the literal meaning. I'm not saying I hope Donald Trump goes there and takes out the trash. Trash means garbage. Okay? Takes out the garbage. That doesn't have any literal meaning. You know my words are figurative. I'm using an example figuratively, but it's like cryptic. Okay, my words are cryptic. That means it's hidden. The message is hidden. And then I say, if you catch my drift. That means I'm hoping that you understand what I'm saying without me really having to say what I think. Do you understand that? So let me know in the comments. Do you catch my drift? Do you understand what I'm saying? Or not? You can say, Mark, I don't catch your drift. Or you could say, yeah, Mark, I catch your drift. I hope the same thing. Fingers crossed. If you live in Iran, you could say, I hope Donald Trump comes here and takes out the trash. If you catch my drift. All right? So, what's going to happen in Syria? That's it's hard to say, you know. It's hard to say. That means kind of, you know, nobody knows. You know, the country is so, like, the geopolitics of Syria is so confusing. You got, you know, everybody has their finger in the pie. Everyone has their finger in the pie. Okay? That's an idiom. So imagine Syria is a nice apple pie. Okay, it's a delicious apple pie, and everybody has their hands in the pie, or a finger. Everyone has a finger in the pie. What does that mean? That means that everyone is doing stuff in Syria that is probably not welcome. Like the Syrian government. Okay, so who are the different people who have the finger in the pie? Well, Turkey's got a finger in the pie. The US has a finger in the pie. The Russians have a finger in the pie. The Iranians have a finger in the pie. The Chinese have a finger in the pie. The Israelis have a finger in the pie. So everybody is interested in Syria. Now, did the Syrian government invite all those different groups into the country? No, they didn't. Okay, Assad didn't call up all the leaders of the world and say, hey guys, come and, you know, put your finger in the pie. He didn't say that. Right? So, you know, it's a confusing situation. Like, honestly, I have no idea. If you understand the geopolitics of Syria, let me know down in the comments. I have no clue, guys. It's really confusing to me. There's so many different groups, and they all hate each other. This group hates this group, and this group hates this group. But these two groups are kind of working together because they hate this group more. It's like, In English, sometimes there's a phrase people use: the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Okay, or the enemy of your enemy is your friend. Well, if that were true, then the whole Middle East, everybody in the Middle East would be friends, right? But it's I don't even know. I know there's some groups, like, you hear about it in the news. I mean, this week it's a big thing in the news. This one group is, okay, Turkey's backing this group, and the U.S. is this group, and sometimes they're like literally, like maybe 20 or 30 kilometers away from each other. Man, in Canada, if you drive like 30 kilometers, it just takes a few minutes. Okay, so the Russians might be here, the Americans might be here. They might be like 30, 40 kilometers away from each other. How is it that this country is still, how is it that it still exists? It's a mystery. It's a mystery to me. So if you understand it, tell me. Let me know down in the comments, because I don't know. All I know is that everyone has a finger in the pie. Okay, everyone has a finger in the pie, which means that they all have they all want a piece, and they weren't welcome. They weren't. Nobody invited them there, but they all just kind of. I don't know. It's hard to say. It's hard to say what's going to happen. I mean, nobody knows. Do you know? Do you know what's going to happen to the future of the country? I've met Syrian people. I love Syrian people. I love Syrian food. I genuinely hope the best for the country. But honestly, if you ask me, Mark, what's the best that could happen for Syria? Beats me. Beats me. That means I have no idea. I know there are Syrians in Canada from both sides, or maybe there's more than one side, 2 or 3, 4 sides. I don't know. A lot of them are in Canada, and some support the government there, some don't. I don't know, guys. It's above my pay grade. If something is too hard for you to, if something is too like confusing for you to know, you can say that's above my pay grade. I don't know, but if you understand it, then let me know. But that's why I said it's hard to say. It's hard to say what's going to happen. I don't know. Okay, time will tell, right? Time will tell. That means we will find out in the future. The future, which is time, right? Time is going to reveal the truth. What's going to happen? Okay, time will tell. Look at this example. Will the mystery illness in Congo become a pandemic? I don't know. Time will tell. Time will tell. Okay, that means we don't know, but the future will show us. With time, we will know the answer. We will find the answer in the future. Time will tell us. It's almost like time is a person, right? It's not me. I'm not telling it. You're not telling it. The time is a person. Time is going to tell us, right? Look at this sentence, guys. What does this mean? I'm going to tell on you. I'm going to tell on you. What does that mean? Okay, well, telling is when children tell their parents about something their sibling did. Okay, so this meaning of tell only pertains to children. Pertain means it's only relating to children. Okay, this meaning, we don't use it. There's a similar word, and that word is tattle. Tattle. Maybe sometimes people use it for adults. To tattle means to to tell someone's secret information. Okay, to tattle. That's the same meaning as tell, but usually this is reserved for children. Okay, so look at this example. Please don't tell on me. Like, let's say you and me are kids, right? and there's some cookies, and our mom told us, hey, you're not allowed any cookies. And when mom is in the bathroom, I take a cookie and I eat it, and you see me, and I say, yeah, please don't tell on me. Okay, so here the word is on. Okay, you tell on someone. So what would that mean? If you tell on me, that means you're going to go to your mom and say, our mom. Okay, you're going to go to our mom and say, Mom, hey mom, Mark stole a cookie. Mark ate a cookie. Right? Kids always do this, right? Kids always tell on each other. Okay, so you could say, my sister always tells on me. My sister always tells on me. That means no matter what you do, if you do something bad that you're not supposed to, your sister goes and tells mom or dad, or both. Okay? Mom, Dad, Mark did this, Mark did that. Okay, that's called telling on someone. Right? Let's look at another example of say, okay? Let's say this phrase means imagine or suppose. Now, I use this a lot in my videos. Okay, when you're giving an example, okay, for example, I might say, let's say you had $1 million. Okay. Would you give some of that to me? Let's say you had $1 million. Now you don't have $1 million, right? But we're just imagining. Okay, so I could say, imagine you have $1 million, or suppose you had $1 million. So any of these, I could use any of these. Suppose you had $1 million. Okay, but this is probably the most common one to use. Let's say. Okay, so this is a confusing phrase for beginner students. You're not a beginner, right? This is confusing because they say let's say. Let's say, what should we say? No, it has nothing to do with say. It means imagine or suppose. Okay, so you can see how these simple English words like say or tell can have very advanced meanings that don't mean their basic meaning, right? That's just how it is. Look at this example. Let him have his say. Let him have his say. What does that mean? Let him have his say. Well, a say is an opportunity to share your opinion. Okay, or an opportunity to influence policy or development of something. Let's say, I just used the other meaning, right? Let's say you and me start a business together. Okay, we're starting a restaurant, let's say. Okay, I put in $10,000 of my own money, and you put in $10,000 of your own money. All right, now let's say we're talking about what color we should paint the restaurant. What color should we paint it, right? And your friend comes and talks to you and says, hey, I think you should paint it blue. Hey, you know what, guys? Let's we should paint it blue. I might say this. Wait, why should he have a say in this decision? Your friend, why should he have a say in this decision? He didn't even it's not his business. He didn't put any money into this. I put in 10,000 and you put in 10,000. Okay, so you and me should have an equal say. You and me should have equal influence over the business, right? Your friend who did nothing, or let's say your friend put $5,000 in. I put 10,000, you put 10,000, your friend put 5,000. So should he have a say? Yeah, he should have a say, but not an equal say. Okay, that means my opinion and your opinion should be more valuable, more weighty than his opinion. Okay? So I could say, look, I don't think he should have an equal say. Look, I don't think he should have an equal say because, I mean, he hasn't worked as hard as we have. This is our idea. We worked really hard for it. I don't think he should have an equal say. Does that make sense? So it's kind of means, this word kind of means input. I don't think he should have, he shouldn't have the ability to provide input. Okay? His words shouldn't be like considered seriously. His influence shouldn't be as weighty as yours and mine, right? Because we have tried so hard on this. It's our idea. It's not his idea. He's not part of the business. So I don't think he should have an equal say. Or I could say he shouldn't have an equal say. Right? He shouldn't have an equal say. But if I put the nt up here, then I could say I don't think he should have an equal say. Okay? So guys, there are some advanced meanings of say and tell. Let's do some homework. All right? So for homework, I want you to make an advanced sentence with say and tell. Okay, you can make 2 sentences or 3 sentences, however many you want. Try to practice, okay? What's your favorite meaning that we talked about in this video? Okay, so just choose whatever you want and make an advanced meaning with say and tell and post it down there in the comments. So guys, hope you found that helpful. As always, I love you so much. Hope you're doing great. Hope you're staying safe, healthy, and happy wherever you are. And as always, I'll see you over in the next episode of Mad English TV. Take care